Hello. So I just finished streaming King's Quest VI, and I missed a pretty significant segment of the game where we meet and interact with Jollo. Apparently you need to first introduce yourself very early in the game. We tried to do that on stream, but we did not show him our ring, which is necessary to get him to talk to us. So we missed his whole chain of events, and sounds like there's 3 different conversations, and then he helps you out toward the end of the game. With a pretty significant bit, and then this also has a pretty notable effect on the ending. So after being reminded of all of this, I decided I wanted to go back and do a complete playthrough. I'm not going to follow a guide, but I'm going to do my best to get maximum points and complete everything possible. I also thought I would do this playthrough with the Windows version of the game using the high resolution portraits option. So the portrait artwork is a bit different from what we had on my stream, and it's also the cursors are a little bit different. I think there's some other minor things, but that's the majority of it. So let's get into it. And of course I got my maps here.
Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach. Alexander pushes the plank, a box.
I will be skipping through a lot of the dialogue just so this playthrough doesn't take a huge amount of time.
There's nothing. Alexander
wasn't paying attention to what I was doing there, but I will let the dialogue play during bits that we missed on stream, stuff with Jollo and all that. Actually, let's go this way first. Introduce ourselves at the castle. There's some bits where I'm not entirely sure how important the order is, and I might be overlooking something, but hopefully I won't do any major screw-ups. Oh, speed is too slow. That's the problem.
Alexander.
Good day.
Hey, you'll stay.
The Isle of the Crown.
This
fancy portraits.
The bushes are too.
Oops. Oh, we get high resolution inventory graphics
Alexander
too. That's very interesting.
Good day.
So everyone says. What does it say?
King.
The guard returned.
Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country. Please, follow me.
Looking very fancy.
Lord Alhazred, a visitor to see you. Prince Alexander of Daventry.
What is it that you seek, Prince Alexander?
Pardon the
same
exact.
Then you're. I have no. Because even if she as
I
a young,
perhaps
I wouldn't, captains.
Kind of interesting to have this art at a lower resolution than the portraits.
You have had your hearing with Wizir Alhazred. I have been
Captain. Alexander.
Okay, so now let's head over this way and into town. Let's see, what's the first item we want from the pawn shop?
Is any?
No one answered.
Oops.
Good day, peddler. Isn't it a rather bad? Hello.
No one.
Clicking too much.
Good day.
If Alexander...
Good day,
So-
merchant.
I can tell you she is in a dark time. Why?
We want to make sure not to get the magic
I have
map
this copper
too soon.
coin.
Gotta make sure
Is
we
it
meet
of
Jalo
any
before we
value to you at
do
all?
that.
Most interesting. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper.
Alexander looked...
So I think we'll probably grab the tinderbox first.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very well.
I'll remember.
Obviously, we can come back at any time. I'm just trying to think of what's most efficient.
Alexander takes a mint.
Hello. I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
Let's see, we want to grab the
Thinking of Cosima,
Book of Love
Alexander
Poems.
decides by Heir, not bad, upon the yike. What was it? What the name of love cannot apply.
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returned. Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the...
I see that old volume has lost.
I do rather like it.
Okay, let's talk to him.
Good day, sir.
That is quite...
My name is Alexander.
You are indeed... This island, there are at least...
At least,
Let... Then
that's quite a claim. Those...
I'd... Perhaps the fair... And if you haven't been there already...
Thank you kindly,
Ah, but it...
Okay.
Alexander rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leaves.
Not sure if this is necessary.
Well, that was refreshing.
Didn't sound like we get any points for it, so.
Alexander picks up the...
Oh, yes, please, take that book.
Really? Thanks.
Okay. Don't think we can do anything there yet.
Hey, straight...
No thanks, kid.
Come on, jump!
That's strange.
Yeah, what do you want?
Just want to talk.
Excuse me.
You say old Allie sent you?
Oh,
I can't see why.
Is-
The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
these high-res portraits are very interesting. It's
What is
fun
it
to
you
see
wanted
them.
to talk about, young man?
I do
I
prefer
see you
the
have a
style of the
rabbit's foot.
original
Has it
lower
brought you
res
much
ones,
luck?
but
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time. Why don't you take it with you?
Perhaps it will at that.
neat to see regardless.
I'm a visitor to these islands.
So you said outside.
Well,
Huh. It just...
but why are the...
You got me?
Then this...
A few...
Perhaps...
This old...
But there must...
There's only...
The ferryman...
Oops.
Tell me more about the...
I remember when they used to go... I remember... Princess...
What do you do now that the ferry no longer operates?
Me? I'm out of a job.
Is there no other boat on the island? One that might be more seaworthy? Tell me more about Princess Cosima.
Her mother was the same. They are sorely missed.
What else can you tell me about the
I don't
land?
know if
Let's see.
there's anything in
The
here
Isle
that's
of Wonder's a
necessary to go
lovely
through.
spot.
What else can you tell me?
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but
The ferryman seems...
What else can you...
the inhabitants of the Isle of the...
What else can you...
the Castle of the Crown...
Well, I think I'll be going now.
Posh, not at all.
So hopefully now Jalo will be in here.
Alexander can enter the...
That's what I was clicking on.
Good
There he
day
is.
again.
Okay.
How may I help you?
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I'm sorry, but I have no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
So let's show him our ring.
Determined to learn more about the strange man's relationship with the princess, Alexander shows the man his insignia ring and formally introduces himself.
I'm sorry to insist, but my name is Alexander of Daventry, and...
I appreciate the offer of the ring, Alexander, but I'm afraid I'm already spoken. Daventry? Where have I heard of Daventry?
Oh.
Flying flit mice. You must be Prince Alexander. Cosima told me about you when she arrived home. How came you here?
Why, by a ship now wrecked upon the sand. But you know Cosima? She truly spoke of me?
Yes, I saw her briefly when she first returned home. She mentioned a prince to me, a Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm afraid that was before she was told about her parents' deaths. You see, she arrived home a few weeks too late. The king and queen thought they'd never see her again. It is said they died of heartbreak. I'm afraid she's blamed herself.
What a terrible homecoming. If we had only known.
Terrible indeed, poor thing. Everyone in the kingdom seems to despair with her these days. The streets are silent.
Where is she now?
The princess is sequestered in mourning. It's a rather dated tradition, and not required, but the Wazir says she insisted out of respect.
I see. You've yet to say who you are, and how you know the princess.
I? Oh, pardon me. My name is Jalo. I am clown to the royal court, and have been since the marriage of Cosima's parents, King Calipham and Queen Alaria. Oh, those were the happy days. The pair of them were so full of joy and life, so in love. And Cosima's birth. It would be hard to explain how long they had waited, how they had hoped for a child. I mean, she was such a charming little thing, smart as a whip, kind and sweet. Oh, she means everything to this kingdom, Alexander, and to me. I'm so terribly worried about her.
About her grief over her parents, you mean?
Well, the truth is, I do not trust the Wazir or his plans for Cosima. I'm still living at the Castle of the Crown as court clown, his clown. But it is more to keep my ear to the ground than out of loyalty. I wish I knew what the princess thinks these days. If only I could find Sing Sing, Cosima's pet nightingale. I might be able to send the princess a message. As it is, I must wait for the end of her seclusion. Now I'm afraid I must hurry back to the castle. I'll try to return to the bookshop again later.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jalo. I hope we meet again soon.
Okay. So it's wild that you can just completely miss that because it ties so much of the game together. Huh.
Old lamps for new!
This is interesting. if it's useful to follow him, but it's fascinating that we can.
Good day, Jollo. Greetings, my fine furred friends.
So now we can get the map. I think it's safe to do that now. I'm going to do a safety save here.
Good day.
Oh, yeah, I think the ferryman told us about the map. We have to ask about it first.
Excuse me, merchant.
Okay.
But the
Why, as a matter... It was quite a few years... Anyway, it is said. It is a very...
What would you take for that?
I would normally...
So, given
Would you be willing to take my...
Daventry, are you a king then?
No.
Well, Prince...
The ring.
Then you now own a magic map, Prince Alex. I will keep your ring out of sight for a few days. Ah...
Thank you.
Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander, and with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar. The old man stuffs the mint into his mouth and wobbles unsteadily out of the pawn shop.
Now we learn about the genie's mint problem.
Master! I followed Prince Alexander as you wished from the pawn shop owner. He just abstained, just reprieved. He just got a magic map. You fool! You've been eating those mints again. I ordered you to stop that.
The genie's bottle.
Yes.
I assume.
Master. Now, what is this about a magic map? With the map, Prince Alexander could travel anywhere as quickly as I can. I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up now. Get a hold of yourself and listen carefully, Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them...
Did I take a mint? Yes. Trying to remember. I guess I need the ink before I can go to the Isle of Wonder and solve that. Okay, there's our ink.
Alexander sorts through the odds and ends that the pawn shop owner dumped into the pot. Magic near the...
So we've got sight, ink, taste, mint, touch, paw, hearing. Oh, we need the nightingale for that. And shoot, I can't remember which one I forgot. Why can't I remember all 5 senses? Smell, sound. Oh, we need the stinky flower. Okay. So I'm actually going to go to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain first. So I'm gonna... I think we can get that the mint leaves while we're there. There's their nightingale friend. Sing Sing.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
So I've got my tinderbox, so I hope we can get the mint right away and get that out of the way.
Alexander...
There's the stinky flower we need.
Alexander...
Of course, the feather.
Alexander...
And now we got our series of puzzles.
There appears to be something etched into the face of the cliff.
See if I can remember them. I believe this one is soar. No, rise.
Huge blocks of stone. Alexander stares with wonder. Alexander examines.
Okay, this one obviously I need to consult the guide for. I believe the answer is soar. But then we need the symbols for it, of course. S is this
reading about the ancient one.
That one. O is sort of a face. A is, I think, this one. And R is kind of a bird.
The stone beneath Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
I met Jalo.
Cool.
And he told me about Sing Sing.
There's a peanut butter recall, so I had to throw 2 jars of peanut butter.
Oh, no.
One of them hadn't even been opened yet.
That ain't what you want at all.
Well, I also don't want salmonella, so...
Yeah, for sure.
Fine,
I mean, yeah.
Alexander examined.
This one. Shoot. Really should have had more of a cheat sheet handy for these. 4 men standing in a row, third from left, and down you go. The rest in order move you on. The youngest, oldest, and the second son. Of course we can't
Nothing
see.
happens. Alexander
So we don't want to press this one. Youngest, oldest, second son. I think that's right.
The stone beneath.
Okay. think we got 2 more. And one of them is just the word ascend, and then another one is a bunch of symbols we have to select again. Might as well keep saving.
Alexander
Sacred 4. Okay, so this is the symbols. I'm trying to find. Okay, I'm getting close. I think. I was foolish to think I could simply remember this all. It's possible I wrote this down in my notebook. I should check there. No, of course not. Ah, okay. Finally. Okay, the Sacred 4. The emotion tranquility, the color azure, the creature caterpillar, and the element air. Tranquility, azure, caterpillar, air. And then I gotta find the symbols for those, which is also kind of a pain. I don't know why I put my pen away. Okay, so we have tranquility here as a little castle looking thing. Air was one of them, right? Yeah. It's kind of a N-shaped thing with a dot. Weird N with a dot. Azure is face with mustache again. Caterpillar is some kind of stairs. Stairs with dots. There we go. Okay. So that one, that one, and
The
That
stone
one.
beneath...
Okay, and then I think the last one is just the word ascend. Easy. Trying to get my hint book back open here in case I need to consult it. I honestly don't know if it had... I'm guessing the hint book doesn't have all the stuff you're meant to look up in the guidebook. I don't remember seeing any symbols when I was scanning through it. Just because that would kind of defeat the purpose of the copy protection.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
Okay, this one is sent, although
nothing happened.
Just gonna be extra cautious and do another save.
Alexander
A-S-C-E-N-D.
The stone beneath...
Whew. Okay.
Alexander finds...
Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man?
Okay.
You could have...
I'm curious if we can just walk by this lady. Okay, we can't do anything until she leaves, maybe. Can we just go straight in the hole right now?
It would be rather rude to crawl into that cave with the old woman standing right in front of it.
Huh.
Come.
So this will just wait. She should leave eventually.
Young man, you offend me. I try to help you and you insist on being rude.
You insist on trying to kill me, which is way more rude than I am being.
How odd.
Okay.
Alexander crawled. The lighting in the...
It's kind of funny
Alexander
that you can do all this now when you don't have any reason to be collecting mint leaves, but you can't simply grab an extra mint while you're at the shop. I guess that would be rude and inconsiderate to take more mints than you really need.
Alexander.
Okay, so now we go meet the winged ones. And then we're done here for now.
Look, an intruder! Hold! How did you get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries.
I didn't...
No visitors, but we will not...
With what trickery did you master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones?
Only the magic of...
The cliffs of logic.
Yes, Ariel. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself.
The Prophets the Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs.
A dilemma, then.
I will not resist you in this, my lord.
Azure, he...
Oh, very well. Be warned. If you have the courage to actually return to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain and face your destiny...
I understand, Lord Azure.
If by some miracle you... Many of our own citizens...
Oh, I will return, Lady Ariel.
Their names make me think they must sometimes name a child Caterpillar. Or, what was the other one? Tranquility. Okay, map time.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
So now we need the Nightingale to get past one of the guards.
Alexander feels...
On the Isle of Wonder. And looking back now, I guess it would have been slightly more efficient to start with the Nightingale and not worry about that. Because we're going to have to get the tinderbox again later for the catacombs.
Good day.
But that's okay. We already knew we're not breaking any speedrun records here.
Would you mind?
Of course, Prince.
Alexander.
That you can.
Very good, Prince Alex.
Thank you.
And if I understand correctly, basically every time we complete a major quest on one of the islands, we can come back and have another conversation with Jalo. But I might just pop in a little more frequently to be sure we're not missing anything. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Nightingale here while we have it.
Alexander winds the mechanical Nightingale and places it on the ground. The mechanical Nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real Nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently.
Oh, forgot to click through there. Okay, and obviously now we don't have a ring, so we can't send that to the princess quite yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Now I'm wondering, could we actually use the mint leaf to get past the guards?
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Also, it seemed like it had a strong odor too. So could it be used for smell? Introduce ourselves to the clam here first.
Why aren't you asleep like the other oysters? What's wrong with your mouth?
No offense, but it hurts too much to talk.
Okay, I think we have...
Alexander is carrying...
Yeah, we have the boring book already, so I think we can...
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you. 2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half dulcimers Yields a...
Alexander makes...
Hey! You fixed my mouth! It feels great!
Ah, the little oyster drifts into peaceful slumber with the rest of his oyster friends.
Huh. Oh no. The sentence fragment is gone. Is there just a really short window where you have to grab that? Huh. Oh, it's back. Okay.
A string of letters floats in the water. Alexander wades into the sea to get the strange object.
No.
The ocean currents tug. Alexander wades deeper into the sea. The underwater toe is amazingly before Alexander.
Okay.
The currents are up. As Alexander...
Whoops.
Tickets only. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your...
Okay, this is at least after I got the mint leaf. Oof. Should have saved.
Hold! That...
I think that first click when I waded in the water was actually fine, but then I was like, oh, I'm right next to the letters now, so I should just grab it. But that made him walk further in, which was clearly a mistake.
With what trick? Only the
clip.
Yes, sir. We have
The minute.
I will not.
Azure.
Be warned. I understand.
If many.
Oh.
Okay.
Alexander...
Really curious how long it's going to take me total. Also, how many times I will do something like that. I was looking at speedruns for the game, and there's some that are like... I think the fastest time is... I don't know, like 12 minutes or something like that. Which is wild. I'm curious to see a video of one of the faster speedruns.
Good day, Princess.
I don't know if it's a situation where like things are just happening absurdly fast or what.
Of course.
That
very...
Okay. Say hi to the nightingale again.
Alexander...
And I'll make sure I do a save before we do anything on the Isle of
The
Wonder.
mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale... The nightingale... Alexander pull... Alexander...
honestly don't remember how I got the sentence fragment before, like...
The blue ocean stretches. A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out where...
I think sometimes it comes up right to the shore, if I remember correctly.
Why aren't you... What's wrong with your...
So I don't know if I just need to
If
have
you're
a lot of
having
patience or what.
Two Dulcim...
Alexander sees
Jeez,
nothing.
that was so fast.
Alexander... the...
So I figure I'll
Alexander here.
go ahead and deal with the guards, and hopefully we can... Oh, now it comes up.
5 fierce guards of the Isle we be. What for a foreign man, said he.
Great portrait.
With ears and nose, tongue, hands, and eyes, its nature cannot be disguised. Old Control, smell your smell.
Okay, smell. Stinky flower.
Alexander holds the flower.
Tom Tro I am, that's all I'll be. My nose knows all on land and sea.
Hearing.
Listen, hark you, Groganor.
Alexander winds the Tin Knight.
A nose is not a way to spy. My ears
That's
cannot be told a
a
lie.
little upsetting.
A nightingale is all there be. No man is near, and so say me. Taste, Grump, that we might know.
Frump. Okay, now it's mint time.
Alexander holds the mint out for the gnome with the gigantic mouth.
Grump knows a tasty treat.
Of course, it just occurred to me that with the...
Billy, use your hands. Is it beast or is it man?
ending we're going for, we don't need the mint leaves, I don't think.
Alexander holds the rabbit foot out for the gnome with the huge
But probably
hands.
for max points, we want to get them anyway.
Be all you mad? What aileth thee? A bunny can't trill merrily.
And now we need our invisible ink.
Alexander pours the contents of the empty-looking ink bottle over himself.
By all that's beauteous, fair, and sightly.
I hope those letters are still in the spot they're in once these guys leave.
Alexander did it. Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. Alexander decides...
Okay. So now...
Alexander investigates the...
Do with the spider first.
The spider who lives there is not amused. Alexander feels the tiny pin.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought I had to do that just to, like, get into the close-up. Good thing I just saved. So I guess we need to talk? Okay.
Wow. Hiya, gorgeous. You know.
Don't get a high-res portrait for the Black Widow, unfortunate.
Hey, don't.
Alexander snatches the scrap of
love.
The wind blows.
Okay. Now we're done with that. Try to grab a book.
Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry. Hello? Is anyone there in the books?
No, there's no one here.
Oh, sorry. Never mind
Hello?
No.
I feel like there's some way to have more of a conversation here.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
What am I forgetting?
Hello?
No.
There's no reason to use. There's no reason.
Hello?
No.
Okay, I guess I'll come back here.
Alexander take. Apparently the dog.
So we don't have a lamp yet, so we can't collect any baby's cheers. We can grab this tomato.
Hey, what do you think you're doing there? Get.
Alexander picks up rotten tomato and.
We'll need the flute to get the hole, but that's okay. We don't need that yet, I don't think. So I think that's all we need right here at the moment. On the wrong map.
Okay. Checkmate. Only chess pieces allowed in chessboard land. That's right.
Not bad. Okay, here come the queens.
I must insist, Your Highness. I shall send a lump of coal to the Vizier and the...
And I suppose you'll leave
Who isn't Queen?
the egg, though delightfully spoiled.
That doesn't count.
It wasn't yours.
Excuse me, my good man, but...
Which of us should get to carry the coal and which the egg?
Quiet, Your Highness, and...
I'm
No
sorry, Your
portraits for them
Majesties.
either.
I'm partial to both red and white.
What a ridiculously stupid idea.
Quite ludicrous.
He was a lot of help, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
There's that scarf.
The lump of coal goes much better with my gown anyway.
That's the...
Alexander.
The scarf will be useful when we get to the Minotaur. So let's see. I guess we want to go to the Isle of the Beast, so I can go ahead and grab one of these frozen heads of lettuce.
Alexander picks a head of iceberg lettuce.
Iceberg lettuce, of course.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
And then we book it over the Isle of the beast. Hopefully we can do this all in one go. Wrong button.
Alexander.
I feel like a huge
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
portion of this game is just waiting for different animations to complete in terms of time spent. So for a speed run, okay, the dangling participle is not here yet. That's interesting. But we can go ahead and put this iceberg lettuce in here. Cool this down.
The pond's...
We can grab the lamp.
Alexander decides...
Ouch! Ow! Ooh, 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 ouch!
The pond is no... Alexander takes the old hunter's lamp from the tree.
And we can't do anything else, but I'm going to go to this screen to...
down the path. You get...
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers.
This brick is important.
Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate.
Just there to scare me. Sure, buddy.
Alexander picks up...
You aren't gonna listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
That's odd.
Pretty odd. I don't know what we need to start that conversation with the
Alexander pulls out.
Oh, I didn't ask the bookshop owner about the book on the counter. That's the problem. We don't know yet that we need a rare book. Completely forgot. Let's see. Should I trade back for the tinderbox while I'm here? It seems sensible. Jalo's here.
Jalo, how fare you? And what news have you from the castle?
Prince Alex, how I fare is close to boiling. Have you seen the wedding proclamations around the village? I've heard rumors of the wedding, of course, but I didn't want to believe it, and I never thought it would be so soon.
Cosima. Married. Oh, it is an unpleasant thing to swallow, friend. If only I knew Cosima wished it. Tell me about the Wazir, Jalo.
The Wazir? Now there's a dangerous subject. His name is Abdul al-Hazred. He came to the kingdom 15 years ago. The king was fascinated by his knowledge and his fine-sounding ideas. It didn't take long for al-Hazred to convince the king to trust him with the minor problems of daily government. You see, Caliph had a wife and a new daughter he wanted to spend time with. Al-Hazred became Wazir.
And now?
Well, he's had his eye on Cosima ever since she was a young girl. And she is the only thing between him and the throne.
Do you think he means to harm her?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I think he'd rather keep her as wife. But whatever his plans for the princess, he will use her to his best advantage. That's his way.
Perhaps he has charmed her. Perhaps she cares for him now.
The Wazir is capable of anything. And Cosima must be vulnerable and lonely right now. Still, she has always instinctively distrusted him. Cosima has a good head on her shoulders. I'd be surprised if she's truly fallen for his words of love. I must return to the castle, Prince Alex, and you to your wanderings. May we both fare well.
So I assume every time he leaves, you just, can be seen going back to the castle, but based on what happened the first time, I don't think that's useful. Let's talk first.
How fare you, merchant?
Well, I would be better.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
I never found the spell. I tell you what.
Okay, now we know we need a rare book. And we'll grab our tinderbox. Eventually
Your candy dish is empty.
I am sorry, sir, but
Well, get some more then.
I fear that is impossible.
Oh,
I'm incredibly curious what would happen now if we tried to offer him the mint leaf that we have. Obviously not going to do that without saving. But I will definitely try it if I have the opportunity. Nightingale.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex, please.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make it.
I think tinderbox makes sense to do next. We have to do the catacombs before we can get further on the Owl of the Beast. Actually, maybe I'll go ahead. We can get the hole now if we have the flute.
Thank you.
So let's do that one. And we want to go back to the Owl of Wonder to get the dangling participle quest started. I should look at this sign before I forget. I don't know if that gets any points, but it can't hurt.
It's a proclamation. Alexander feels his...
Okay. Oh, we have the pearl, so we could actually get our ring back at any point. Do you even need... Oh no, you need the map first before you can get to the Owl of Wonder. Okay. But you can get that ring back pretty quickly. That's interesting.
Alexander...
Owl of Wonder. Okay, hopefully this works now.
Hello?
What do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Isn't there something I...
Let's...
No.
As an exception, you always should.
Don't mind. Let's see.
I love this
A
portrait.
marsh pig that does Texas.
No.
A day.
I'm fresh out. No, I don't. Afraid not.
Huh.
Okay. And now while we're here, I'll use the flute to get the hole in the wall. Apparently we can talk to the clinging vines over here. I'm curious what they have to say. Let's find out.
What curious clinging vines are on this wall?
We know we're fascinating, but no one ever visits us. We're lonely.
That's too bad.
We just want to be liked. We just want to be hugged. We've been clinging to this wall, but he's gotten boring.
I see. Perhaps you should find a new place.
Don't be stupid. We're clinging vines, not particularly mobile.
No, I don't suppose so. Well, good luck.
And of course, if you do walk over there, they will absolutely murder you. All right, let's try to grab this hole.
Alexander decides to pick up the hole in the wall.
All right, we actually need to do this before we go in the catacombs. So
it's run
a good thing I did.
behind the wallflower.
Don't know if we need to try to grab it again.
The wallflower.
Okay. Now we use the flute.
May I have this dance?
Alexander stops playing the flute.
Okay. Now we grab the hole.
While the wallflowers dance.
And I guess we can get our baby's tears now, right?
Alexander gives one of the baby's tears a bottle of milk. The other baby's tears.
I missed. There we go.
Alexander has no reason to gather tears in that lamp.
Oh. Oh, okay. That's interesting. We don't have the magic book yet, so we have no idea that that's a component of a magic spell.
Alexander.
I think now we'll go to the Isle of the Beast and grab our dangling participle. And then we can come back here and grab the book.
Alexander.
Hello, friend. Oh.
Speak not.
I want a portrait of this guy, too. It's good. A nice little high-res hole in the wall. Oh. Huh. It's interesting that there's only 2 rows of icons.
Alexander.
This sentence.
Where are you going? Know what I do? Like you, I do. Go I with you?
Well, that was certainly interesting. Alexander.
Okay.
Alexander.
Wonder.
Hello, bookworm.
Well, what?
I found this.
Coming home, I...
There you are.
Glad I am, see?
A most solemn celebration.
So.
Yes, sir.
Well, then. This one.
Thanks.
Okay. I think.
Alexander opened. The book contains riddles and has a page missing. Alexander glances at a few of the conundrums, but finds himself more curious about the one that is missing. What was the riddle, he wonders? More importantly, what was the answer?
So this border in the text gives us a hint that the corner of the page we found is an answer to this riddle. Will come in handy later.
Alexander, there's no reason.
It's so hard to click the map on him when he's in the background like that. I don't know why.
Alexander.
So now we can trade for the magic book and get the tinderbox, and then we should be okay to get in the catacombs. Okay. Oh, and we can get our ring back while we're here.
Hello. Now.
I found this.
Very. Here is the...
I certainly...
Good day.
So we'll start with getting our... Nope, I missed somehow. What?
Why
Huh.
would Alexander...
I feel like
I found this large pearl.
the interface is maybe a little buggy there.
I have never seen such a perfect pearl.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't sell it.
Of course.
Okay. So now we have a ring, which we're gonna get rid of again very soon. We also want to trade the flute.
Would you mind if I...
Of course.
Alexander.
For the tinderbox.
I believe...
Very...
Thank...
Okay, we don't necessarily have to do this now, but I guess I'm gonna go ahead and give the bird the ring.
Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cosima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cosima to his presence on the Isles.
Oh, right. We also have the hole in the wall now.
The nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
Oh, neat.
Sing Sing, what have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing Sing, where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul, he must be here. Sing Sing, I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here then, on this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
The little bird makes a delivery.
It's wild how different this is when
It's
you...
a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cosima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
just when you actually are able to introduce yourself to Jalo, it makes such a huge difference. So we can also now, I believe...
The lady's hair ribbon is made of the finest red velvet. A long strand of black hair is caught in the ribbon.
So it's interesting that this is an alternative way.
Alexander examines the red ribbon and finds a strand of long black hair.
To get, I want to say it's a strand of a pure maiden's hair that we need for one of the spells. Yeah, that's correct. Just glancing over here at my notes. Okay, let's go use this hole in the wall. So the next thing we need to do with the Nightingale is get a rose to send.
A group of serving women approach the castle.
Hurry up, girls. There's plenty of work afoot today. No time to dawdle.
Yes, Sergeant Gruff.
So that's the servant girls we could sneak in with if we had a servant costume.
It's well that they're here, Wolf. Cook is about driven himself mad, I hear.
That, of course, is the shorter route to completing the game. I assume this will get us some points.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the side wall of the castle. Alexander looks through the hole in the wall.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Alexander can see what looks like a hallway in the basement of the castle.
It's interesting that that's in there as an option that isn't really necessary, but you know, it there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do it, and it also kind of helps you figure out that this is a potentially useful place to make a doorway with the magic paint. Map.
Alexander pulled.
So this time... Actually, I should say first, because if we go to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, we're going to immediately get taken to the catacombs.
Alexander pulled.
But I believe we're ready to do that now.
Alexander feels it.
Oh, right. We have to actually go up first before that will happen. Okay.
So, you have chosen to come back and face the catacombs when you could have escaped. I admit I am surprised. You're either a complete idiot or vain enough to think yourself invincible.
The game talks about how handsome these guys are, and I feel like the art doesn't fully sell me on that.
To leave a mate.
Bravery and suicide are...
We shall see.
We only escort you to your death.
So I think they look exactly the same. Okay.
The catacombs entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards.
So
it
here
seems
is
that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
Oh, that's actually the second level. Here's my catacomb map. We start here, There's various places we need to go to. We need the skull over here. It's the first thing. And then I think we can go ahead and do the first puzzle after that.
Alexander picked.
Of course, that is another component of a spell for charming a creature of the night. Hopefully I can manage this puzzle without too much trouble. I feel like I might remember how to do it, but I'm gonna open up the guidebook to refresh my memory. Okay. 3 roses laid upon the bower, so I think we need to start here. Go diagonally. A scythe for he who cuts the flower. So we want to go up here. A crown, a dove, most noble race. I believe this is a crown. And then I think this is the dove. Thy bones make sacred this dread place. I think we want to go here next. Got it. I'm just going to go ahead and draw dots on the squares. Just in case I didn't need to do this again, that might help remind me. Okay. I know over here, I don't think you get any points for... yeah, for avoiding death.
Ah, you were a human only and not the monster himself.
Why, yes, he did, but how did you...
Huh?
Yeah. Shield is important. And then next we need the coins.
Alexander take.
I feel like I'm making pretty good progress here. Might be able to finish this in under 3 hours. I hope so. I was initially hoping maybe not too far over 2 hours. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Alexander.
Okay, so here's our second trap. We're gonna do a safety save.
It's a trap, and the ceiling.
Just toss a brick in here.
In a desperate move. The brick, the mechanism, the trap is sprung.
And then we're going to head for this square here, which will take us down to the lower levels, where it will be quite dark. Zounds!
A trap floor!
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level wherever he is.
Okay. Tinderbox.
Alexander takes...
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Okay, so now we need to go...
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away.
I'm fairly sure we have to go over here and use the hole in the wall for Alexander to even be able to find the hidden switch in the tapestry. But regardless, we want the points for that, so we're going to do it even if it's not strictly necessary. I kind of think if you examine the tapestry without having actually gained the knowledge, I think we're here, so I don't want to go south or I'll die. Then he won't be able to find the switch from what I recall. So I think we're here now.
Alexander hears the sound of the noises are coming from the...
There's the hole in the wall.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles.
Poor guy.
Alexander
he doesn't deserve any of this.
The hole in the wall and sees just another room. Aha! At least Alex...
Bye, little buddy. Stay safe out there.
Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder.
Alexander is frustratingly optimistic. Unacceptably optimistic, I think. Honestly, not sure which route is faster to get to the Minotaur from here, but either one's fine, really. So we're here now. There it is.
Now let's see. Aha!
Alexander tricked...
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur. A beautiful winged one girl is struggling for her... Alexander steps forward, determined to use anything at hand to save the girl.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
I ask you...
As the Minotaur advances until he can back away no more. Now where?
I use
Alexander,
it again?
his back in...
Look here, you bully!
Now you die.
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames.
Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste?
No, I am not all right.
Of course not. Sorry.
I can't...
Oh, all right,
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
The winged ones...
Okay, so I think...
Lady Celeste, fight thee well.
I'm
thinking.
well.
Oh, right. We will have to come back here one more time.
Mere human. So much for your superior intellect.
Yes, my lady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
So I believe we're going to meet the Oracle now, and then we can go to the Isle of the Mist.
I see you have proven yourself the I am obliged. It is also I have my guards will I don't know who you
I thank you.
Hail to thee, great oracle. Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that...
So this is the one with
Wingless
Hong
mail.
Princess. Ah, of course. I see a maid. It is her and your.
How? How do I redeem her?
Fate is not. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle.
Who must I fight?
A great dark. But before this, there is more than one way.
What else do you...
The time of the war. There is no... It is water from...
Thank you, great oracle.
Okay. So, I think...
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
So now we can go to the Isle of the Mists. I think it is reasonable to do that now.
Alexander feels...
There's just a couple items we need to grab here on our first trip.
From the northeast...
Let's do a save. Okay, so we can grab some coal.
Alexander...
Could grab the scythe.
Alexander takes the scythe. From the northeast, Alexander...
So we can get further on the Isle of the Beast now. Let's go to the Isle of Wonder first. Or, so many choices. I think we might be able to do another Jalo conversation. So let's do that and make sure we don't miss it. This might be the last Jalo conversation that we're coming up on. And soon we'll be able to get a rose to send. Yay!
Jalo, my friend, is the wedding still moving forward at the castle?
Prince Alex, egads, yes, that confounded wedding has a whole castle a-bustle. Look, I didn't come here to talk about that, though. I came to warn you.
Warn me? About what? Isn't the wedding bad enough?
No, listen. The Wazir knows that you're here, Alexander. He's posted extra guards, and he's telling them about a foreign saboteur. Who else could he mean but you? The Wazir's genie must have learned of your presence in the land, Prince Alex. I don't know how, but he must have.
I haven't exactly been discreet, I'm afraid.
Alexander, this is serious. Al-Hazred will never let you get close to Cassima now. He's doubled the castle guard, probably to make sure you keep out. Gadzooks! Oh, it's too bad there isn't some way to convince Al-Hazred that you've left the islands or even died. If he thought you were out of the way, you might be able to get close enough to...
What an interesting thought. Tell me more about this genie.
The genie's name is Shamir Shamazel. Alhazred brought Shamir with him when he came to this kingdom. Shamir probably won't directly threaten you, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He can be a terrible trickster and an ingenious spy. It's too bad we can't get our hands on Shamir's lamp. If we had that lamp, Alhazred and all of our problems would be solved. Wouldn't that be a fine thing?
You would wish to be master of such a wicked creature?
Oh, Shamir isn't necessarily evil. Genies never are, you know. They only reflect their owner's heart, for good or ill. Alhazred is hardly a shining example for an impressionable genie.
So how do you propose we go about getting Shamir's lamp?
What? Oh, Prince Alex, I was only dreaming. I mean, the lamp is heavily guarded. It would be easier to steal Alhazred's own trousers while he's wearing them than it would be to get that lamp.
But surely a clown's hands are quick and agile.
Well, yes, they are, as a matter of fact. But then the theft would be detected almost immediately. And then... my poor neck.
If the theft were detected.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, there might be a slim chance, but only that. If you could find a replica of the genie's lamp, an exact replica, I might be able to make the swap. I alone might get close enough, but I couldn't tell you what to look for. I caught a glimpse of it only once. I would know it if I saw it again, but to say I cannot.
Well, I'll just have to see what I can do.
Good luck to you then, Prince Alex. I really must be going back to the castle. I don't think I'll be able to come back here. If we were spied on, well, it's too high a risk. I hope you understand. If I see Cassima, I'll tell her I saw you. If you do ever make it to the castle, look me up. And do be careful, friend.
I will. Goodbye, Jalo. Thanks for all your help.
So, I mean, it makes sense, but it's interesting that he, emphasizes that it needs to be an exact replica, mainly because, we saw a lamp in the scene earlier, inside the castle, where Alhazred is talking to the genie, and there's a lamp on the table, or some sort of bottle. I assume it's meant to be the genie's lamp, but maybe it's a red herring. But I'm not sure it matches any of the lamps we can get a hold of. I'm saving a spot here because I think this is a good spot if I want to come back and do the other route. Also, interesting thing we learned there is that it would be useful to make presumably the genie specifically think we are dead. I'm guessing that'll cut down on the number of guards we have to deal with or something. But we do eventually get a potion that we could use to fake our death, and I never found a use for it.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
The counter feels...
Oops. So I think now we can go ahead and swap for the paintbrush.
Would you mind?
Of course, Prince.
Alexander looks...
I think I'd like to...
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think it'd be good to go back to the Isle of Wonder now, and there's a couple of items that just kind of appear there. I can't remember what the first one is. The second one is that heart-stopping potion. But there's another one that shows up there first.
Alexander.
Oops. I accidentally did a window switching mode, which I think made the capture do something a little weird.
Alexander.
And we can also grab those tears now that we have the book. I think we need another milk bottle. The magic book, I mean.
Alexander. Apparently the dog would...
Ah, there it is. Oh. Oh, and the teacup is the other item. So they're actually both here.
Alexander picks up the bottle. Alexander takes the teacup.
So I think we can also get our swamp ooze while we're here.
To take the path.
Oops.
Alexander. The other baby's tears. Alexander.
Okay. So we start this by trying to scoop up some ooze ourselves.
What do you think you're doing? You startled me.
Well, that's...
He's right.
Nobody...
Perhaps you...
Wow!
He's an utter waste of op...
Okay. So now we can give this guy our tomato.
I thought this might come in handy the next...
Hey! Hey! Now, puppy!
The... Oh,
no!
Hey, okay.
So now we have our swamp ooze.
Well, you mean it?
Stick. There's no reason. Alexander fills the teacup with the swamp ooze.
So later we'll need to get some river Styx water in there. We have salt water not from the sea. We have a vial of sacred water. And when we get to the Beast's Island again, we can get the falling water. And when we do the Isle of Mist next, we will need to get our hot oak embers. Okay. Getting there. What's next? I had it in my head and then I lost it.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
It's possible. I think we could fake our death at this point. That may be worth doing.
Alexander feels a strange...
Get that out of the way. Make sure I don't forget. Still don't have that rose. I assume we would want to do that in the pawn shop here. No, of course he's not here. I don't know if him showing up here is random or if it just happens at certain times in the game. Let's try going in and out a little. Okay. Bummer. Can we do anything else while we're here? Nothing's coming to mind. So I think we'll go do the Isle of the Beast next. I think we have everything to finish up that island.
Alexander feels a...
And this quest will also get us our servant's clothes, which is actually probably a better point to actually save our branching path. Back up. Okay.
Alexander decides. The magic arrow.
Okay.
Alexander walked.
And now.
But the rose head.
Use our scythe to get past here.
Alexander wheeled the leaves. He sees light. He's through.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander.
No.
Well, for the face of a beast.
Ha! But I rankle.
Surely there is...
Oh, surely. You see,
if there's any way I can help. But that's not possible.
The enchantment, you see.
I shall try to find...
Truly?
Let's delete that. Just don't want to confuse myself later.
It's my family ring.
I shall...
Yes. Your...
See, so we only have 5 minutes here, but that should be plenty of time. Just want to head back south here and grab 2 roses.
Alexander takes... Alexander already has a...
Oh, okay. So I happened to notice that the hint book said something like, you did grab 2 roses, didn't you? Which made it sound like you could grab 2 at the same time, which seemed unusual. But yeah, you can't actually do that, so we'll have to grab another one when we come back here with Beauty. So Isle of the Crown. I was briefly thinking I could fake my death now, but we don't have the time for that, actually. Okay, so there's the beast ring. We gotta start with the flower.
Pardon me, maid.
Alexander.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely.
There are many...
Oh, truly?
Okay, now the ring.
Alexander has a...
Let me tell you.
Really?
It is a beast.
How
It is... Oh.
Afraid?
I could take...
You are sick.
Home.
But I will...
Oh, right, I just remembered we have...
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
There is...
a lump of coal.
Then take this ring. It is his.
That we need to deliver to the queens on the Isle of Wonder.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever... Beauty! To a...
I see you wear my ring. You...
Yes, ma'am.
Pity alone need not...
Oh!
You look...
The enchantment! It is broken!
I am pleased to have served you, my lord. Do you still wish me to stay?
What?
Oh, my clothes! This gown! crown.
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude. But please, take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer...
Thank you. I will...
Come, Beauty.
Okay, so now we have some important items. I'm very curious. So we already have a strand of Cosima's hair.
The strand of hair from the red ribbon is the color of midnight. Alexander can only hope that it belongs to his true love.
I'm guessing that means we can't find a hair in this.
These old clothes are very ragged and heavy. They consist of a long, thick dress and a headpiece which covers the hair and most of the face. Alexander searches through Beauty's clothes, but finds nothing.
Okay. But that's fine. We don't need it. I think we can go ahead and concoct our Make Rain spell while we're here, so we don't have to come back anymore. So this music is just so dramatic. So we have the saltwater not from the sea. I think we just go ahead and dump our sacred water in there.
The contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears.
And then we dunk our lamp in this fountain.
Alexander filled.
And then I think we can go ahead and do the incantation. Yeah, and then we just
prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain.
Clouds of thunder.
And then the spell will activate automatically when the water is brought to boiling, which will happen when we need it.
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk.
Okay. So we're done with that spell. Magic paint we can't finish until we have Styx water, and then we'll need to use this spell we just made in order to ultimately obtain our hot oak embers for charming a creature of the night. Oh, can't forget our second rose.
Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
And we can send that next time we're... I think we'll go ahead and go to the Isle of the Crown again to see if we can now fake our death. And then I'll do the actual branching path safety save. And then we can also send that rose while we're there.
Map.
I'm guessing we'll get another scene where Cosima
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Gift we're sending to her.
Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the rose, and takes it towards the castle.
Nice.
A white rose. How beautiful. It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. Be careful, Sing Sing. Do not allow anyone to see you with Alexander.
The little bird returns to her branch without the rose.
Like, on one hand, it's a bummer that I missed so much of the game in my stream, but on the other hand, it's kind of cool that we got to see. This is interesting that he's back, but we our lamp's busy right now. It's cool that we got to see that way of playing the game, just because it's so different, and like ultimately you do most of the same things, but you're just lacking so much context that it just really makes a huge difference on the story, and ultimately gives you a less satisfying resolution, and the whole thing feels like far less of a love story. Let's see if we can do this now. Just because they barely interact at all.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
If Alexander wants anything...
Okay, so we got our drink me potion.
Alexander suddenly gets a very sneaky idea.
Love it.
I can't go on anymore. Without Cosima, I'd just rather not live.
Prince Alex, no.
It's true. The Wazir has beaten me. I give up. Poison is my last resort.
Stop.
I am no more.
Oh, what a waste. The poor young fool.
He's dead. He's dead. Wait until Abdul hears. He'll be so pleased.
So we get a scene in the castle. Nice.
I told you not to pop in like
there
that.
It is.
You can learn to knock like everybody else. Sorry, Master. I couldn't help myself. I have great news. Well, what is it? Prince Alexander is dead. He killed himself in despair over losing Cosima. What? Are you positive? That young man has proven to be most devious. I saw the whole thing myself, Master. He was really and truly quite dead. If what you say is true, it shall be most convenient. You've spent enough time on that little irritant. We must start thinking about the wedding. Anything, Master? Oh, I do love weddings. Well, we do want you to look your prettiest, don't we? Now, Shamir Shamazel, to the lamp with you. Prepare yourself, as we discussed.
Nice. So I was wondering...
Alexander's heart lurches to life in his chest.
Prince Alex, but you were...
Sorry, friend. I was doing a little acting, I'm afraid.
Ah, of course, the strange cloaked man. You are quite clever, and a bit too exciting for an old man.
Okay. I don't think we need to do any more here. I think we're pretty much done with the shop. I was wondering after watching that first scene in the castle again, if the bottle we see there is actually a red herring, and it absolutely is.
Old lamps.
So I guess you have to fake your death like that to know for sure what is the correct lamp.
Now.
Honestly, playing through the other way and now doing it the ideal way again is definitely giving me an even greater appreciation for this game and how how much freedom you get in different ways to do everything. I'm trying to think if this is a good spot for a branching path. As long as we do it before we go to the Isle of the Mist again, that should be fine. So we'll save over this. I think we're ready to go to the Isle of the Mist now.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Oh. I don't need that. Oh, I need the egg for charming the creature of the night. That's my source of sulfur. So yeah, we'll go to the Isle of Mist first.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
We can go back to the Isle of Wonder to get a spoiled egg. And then we can go...
Great God!
Charm
Did you
Nightmare.
See that? A man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirits.
He is an intruder.
Hopefully I didn't forget anything here.
Look, I'll leave. It's not.
I think not.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid.
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage.
So we just have to wait and our Make Rain spell should activate automatically?
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage. Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long. The heat and movement... Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot, boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
That man is a powerful nature wizard. I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. Besides, Wizir Al-Hazred sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant.
What is it that you seek? Free souls in the realm of the dead? You're mad.
The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess.
No. Legend has it. I have only heard of one who tried. It is said that he came somehow.
I see.
It is said...
Interesting. I shall remember.
Now, look. May your luck...
May it indeed.
Okay. There's a time limit on the hot oak embers, so hopefully I can do this all quick enough that we don't have to make another trip back. We'll just have to find out.
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
I think it's fine to put the hair in there.
Puts the
You know, I'm curious. Did I ever look at
Beast's
this?
mirror consists of a piece of glass set into a decorative frame. The glass is unusually clear, and the image particularly true. Alexander examines Beast's mirror. The glass has a startling clarity, and the frame is quite beautiful.
I was just curious if we could look in the mirror. What is Alexander's true self? Okay, I think we're done here now, as long as our embers don't
Alexander pulls out
burn out. And
Alexander feels a
here go our spoiled egg. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting. We're all done there. I think we're all done here now.
May as well.
No, it's...
Yes, if the... You do. You... Oh. Oh, it's you.
Okay, have some coal.
Red Queen already.
Oh. My mistake.
I found the two of you another...
Oh, let me see. Now we... Quite... As a...
Thanks.
Let me see that lump of coal. It is a beauty, isn't it? Why, over my... I don't...
Okay. So now we can put the egg in there.
Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers and the strand of hair. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam.
Zounds.
The smell of sulfur.
Okay. So now I think we're done on the Isle of Wonder. And this will be our final trip to the Sacred Mountain. I've not done any saves in a bit, so let's do that. We're on the long path now.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
So we have everything for charming a creature of the night. So we're going to find Nightmare to charm Nightmare and get a ride to the land of the dead.
Alexander feels a...
So we need to go back to the top of the mountain to do that. All right, I can send my third message to Cosima now.
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
I've had that for a while. I just kind of forgot that that was already an option. Okay. Still need that River Styx water, and that's our last spell component. Charming creature of the night. We have all the ingredients. In the presence of the creature, speak the incantation over the skull.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it. Come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or...
Now ride!
So now we're headed to the land of the dead?
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Time to say hello. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay.
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Califam. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted Vizier. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cassima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Vizier. Cassima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
Okay, gotta be careful not to touch any of these ghosties. Please leave, thank you. Oh, yes, and we need to have a chat here.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest?
Lost? You mean in this realm? Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
Okay. Let's do a quick save.
The skeleton to the left of the path.
Ticket.
We got our ticket, right?
Net.
Okay, yeah, there's our ticket. Now it's time for a dance party.
Alexander picks up the 2 bones on the ground. Now, what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance.
Just noticed I actually did have a map of the catacombs puzzle.
Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier.
Back to the right map here. Okay, so now we have our key.
Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
Interesting. Interesting that I didn't get any points for that. I'm not sure if I got any points for playing the music.
I have a ticket.
Oh, on.
It's possible that's just completely optional. From what I understand, like the skeleton... Oh, no, actually we need the skeleton key to get evidence of Alhazred's treachery. I forgot about that. But it also gives us a way to get out of jail in the castle, so that's useful. And do another save here.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path.
Okay, let's grab this gauntlet.
Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, death. Flesh may go... Zounds!
Okay. I almost forgot that we want to grab our water from the river Styx here.
Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the...
How are we doing on points anyway? 166 out of 231. Pretty good. And now we give our coins and go for a ride.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat.
Just labeling my maps here. Now's where that scrap of paper comes in handy.
Alexander
scrap of paper that said love on it. Oop.
What touch has awakened my sleep?
Mine?
I smell the blood.
Despite his fear,
I would pass, Gate. I have business with your master. No, thank you.
And why should
I have been told.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer...
Agreed.
Listen, as the... My first is foremost...
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all...
The answer is love. Love cannot be banished, even from this place.
Enough!
Okay.
Alexander can...
Alright, gotta walk up first.
Alexander approaches the...
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you ask, kiss my hand.
Time to throw down our gauntlet.
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. Man may pass the portal, and...
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible! He challenges death. Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it?
I seek the souls of King Califim and Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself?
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Yes. For thousands of years, I have sat upon this throne. I have seen tragedies that ended empires. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
Okay, now it's our magic mirror.
If your existence has been all that you say it has...
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment. Reflections of despair. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man. The years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long. Find the souls he has claimed and bring them to me. King Califim and Queen Ilaria, I presume.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh. My steed shall take the 3 of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now. Yes, my lord.
It's a lot of passengers.
Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Cassima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
So now we can send our final message to Cosima, the love poem.
Alexander holds out the love poem, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem, and takes it towards the castle.
Sing, sing, my sweet. You bring another present. Let me see. It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you?
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him, my fleet one, then find some new place to hide. It isn't safe for him to be seen with you, however precious his messages. Now go.
The little bird makes a delivery.
Oop.
It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake. Greatly in your family's debt, Cosima.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother?
Okay. So we are done with all the other islands, I think. Just double checking here. I think so. So I'm gonna. I think we've had all the conversations outside of. Oh right, old lamps for new. It is finally time. Oh, we ran out of spaces for saves. Okay, a very important exchange here.
But I have an old lamp that might interest you.
Ah, an old lamp. And what a nice traditional design, too. Take your pick of my new lamps.
So I'm pretty sure I actually picked the right one last time. It's interesting that there's not a lamp that looks like that first lamp we see in the scene at the castle. This has like the most similar general shape, but obviously it's very different, and this one has a kind of similar shape as well. But this one looks exactly like it.
Ah, a fine choice, my son. Here is your new lamp. Good day, and I thank you, sir.
Good day.
Drat, another dud.
It's rough, buddy.
Hello. I will be right up.
No, don't sweat it, friend. You're good.
Now, what can I do for you?
I was just making sure Jallo hadn't come back. So we've tricked the Vizier into thinking we're dead, and we have a lamp that we can use to hopefully steal the real lamp. So I think we're good to get the best ending now. Let's see, I think we already have the paintbrush. Let's go around back here. So we want to use this.
The feather feel.
Wrong button. Use this feather to stir our...
Alexander dips the large black feather into the teacup and stirs the contents gently. To his amazement, the jet black color of the feather slowly drains from end to tip into the teacup. The teacup mixture blackens and thickens to a paint-like consistency.
Okay. We do have our paintbrush.
Feeling artistically inspired, Alexander decides to make use of the large blank castle wall.
I'm just curious. Okay, yeah, he did not draw anything resembling a doorknob, which frankly I think is careless. He's lucky he gets a doorknob when he didn't draw one. I guess I'll go ahead and replace my... There's got to be something better we can pick here. Let's do this one. And now we do the incantation.
With trepidation, magic paint black as ink. The spell worked.
There we go. We're at 186. I'm very curious if
eager to be inside the castle at last, Alexander opens the enchanted door.
Get absolutely every point or not.
The magic paint door fades back into the wall. So much for an easy exit.
Okay, so now we can give Elise his handkerchief.
The dungeon door and slips inside.
Mother, where are...
What's the matter, little boy?
I'm lost. I don't know why she would just leave me here.
You must be the son of the spirit I met in the realm of the dead.
It's Mama's. It even smells like her.
Wait. Before you go, is there anything you can tell me about the castle?
I like to play in secret places.
Curious if you can find that hidden lever without doing this. Another thing I keep wondering about is if we get any points for breaking out of jail. Like I assume it, it seems like it's better to not get caught in the first place. So I'm just going to assume that that is indeed the preferable choice. So we should be okay to talk to
Alexander
Jallo
decides to find out what's on the other side of that door.
Prince Alexander! I can't believe it! How did you get into the castle?
Well, actually, it's a little hard to explain.
I bet. You run a terrible risk of being here, though. The castle is crawling with guard dogs, especially today. The Vizier will have your hide if he finds you.
I know that, Jallo. But Cassima is being married today. What greater risk is there than that?
Of course you're right. Young love. I've forgotten what heartburn it is. But what are you supposed to do about it?
I've got to try to see her. Maybe even stop the wedding.
Is that all? And here I thought you would try something dangerous. Oh.
Don't worry about me, friend. Just tell me, where is Cassima?
As far as I know, she's still in her bedroom upstairs. You'd never make it up there, though. The guard dogs are everywhere, and they're very loyal to the crown. Unfortunately, right now the crown means Alhazred. If we had proof of something truly afoul, the guard dogs might listen. As it is, they're your enemies, not his.
I understand. I've had no lack of enemies since I got here. In fact, you'd almost think I wasn't welcome.
And they say princes have no sense of humor. Well, I can see there's no putting you off. For Cassima's sake, I wish you luck. I'll be here if there's anything you need.
Thanks, Jallo.
Okay, so obviously we need to give him the fake lamp.
I've been thinking of what you said about swapping a replica for the genie's lamp. I got this lamp from the old lamp seller in town. Do you think it will pass?
Why, yes! It's an exact replica. That's amazing. How did you guess?
I suppose it was intuition.
Hello.
I'll have to wait for the right moment, mind you. But I should be able to get
Yeah,
close
I'm
enough
almost
to swap
there.
this for the real thing, and none shall be the wiser. Now you shall see Jallo's skill.
I'm sure your hands are mightier than my sword, my clever friend.
Go ahead and do as you've planned, and let me worry about swapping the lamp. If I accomplish the trickery, I'll manage to get the lamp to you somehow. You never fear.
I have faith, Jallo. You are a true friend.
Oh, shucks. I'd do anything for the princess.
Okay. Is there anything?
The wall above Jallo's desk sports a notice of a circus. It seems very old. Jallo keeps his desk neat and tidy. A cozy little fire is ablaze in Jallo's fireplace. A plain trunk provides minimal storage for the bedroom. The comfortable-looking bed in the corner is neatly arranged. It looks just large enough for Jallo's generous size.
Seems normal size to me. Okay. So now... I've noticed, I kind of wonder if we maybe down here don't have to worry about getting caught by the guards at all. We haven't seen any suggestion that they're patrolling down here. So presumably that's the advantage of faking our death.
A closed door on the north wall bears a small brass plaque. The plaque reads, "Guard Room." Uh-oh.
We can open this passage here.
Remembering what the little boy ghost said. A secret passage. Alexander hears the sound of voices coming from nearby.
So I'm curious if I feel like there must be some differences here now that we've faked our death.
Alexander peers through the chink in the wall.
Captain, I've been hearing rumors from the guards who've been watching the princess. They say lately she's been pounding on her door and begging to be let out. Ain't none of my business, sir, but news like that is upsetting the other dogs. Ain't no guard in the castle who would willingly keep the princess anywhere she don't want to be.
Alhazred claims that a foreign intruder is here to assassinate her. That's why she's got to be kept under lock and key, right up until the wedding. Call me an old dog that can't learn new tricks, but I say the princess should be the one given the orders. Alhazred has been in charge for months, what with the king's death and Casima's mourning. Tonight, the wedding will seal it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like him or not, he's our liege. Need I remind you of your oath to the crown? Aye, we've an oath. For the sake of the princess, we'll not be forgetting it. He'd just better treat her well.
Speaking of the Vizier, what do you reckon he's keeping in that magical room of his?
It's not a magic room. It's just the door he's enchanted somehow. I say he's still got the royal treasury in there, along with whatever else he's so eager to protect. Not even the court treasurer is allowed in there anymore.
I heard him in the hall the other day. He was speaking of that door. Black magic is what I say. I heard him say, Ali, but then Bay came up and started yapping at me.
Enough! It is not our place to question the practices of our liege, no matter how strange. The wedding will be starting soon. Report to the throne room when you hear the music start.
Interesting that they repeat that text box. Okay. So no differences there. They talked about the alleged assassin briefly, but no mention that I'm actually dead now.
That was a climb. Alexander hears the faint sound of a woman crying nearby.
I'm not sure if this will actually be any different. I feel like the last conversation we saw would still fit.
Alexander peers through the chinks in the wall, trying to locate the source of the crying sounds. Alexander's palms begin to sweat and his heart to race. It's Casima. He's found her.
Psst. Princess Casima.
What? Who's there?
It is I, Alexander. I'm here behind this wall.
My, how suave that sounds.
Alexander? It really is you. Oh, I knew you were close by, but how did you get inside the castle walls?
It's a long story and not important now. You did get my ring.
Oh, yes. It has brought me such comfort, Alexander, to know you were close by and had not forgotten. But you shouldn't be here. You're only endangering yourself.
I don't care about the danger. I would brave anything to learn.
What is it?
Alhazred, do you want to wed him, Casima?
Oh, please believe me when I say that I never agreed to marry that man. Even when my father trusted Abdul absolutely. I never liked him. But with mother and father gone, I'm afraid there's no stopping him.
If you do not wish to marry him, Casima, you shall not. I promise you. Only come with me now, and we shall escape.
How? I cannot fit through this wall. Besides, do you think I could leave my kingdom, my people, in Abdul's hands? But Abdul would tear the castle apart if I were to disappear from my room. You shall have to do what you can to delay his plans from your end.
I can't just leave you here.
Alexander, do not despair for me. I have been safe in this room for nearly 6 months now. Abdul can be in no hurry, whatever he plans. After all, I'm to be his bride, am I not? I have been planning too, you see. I believe I can escape. If I can only get a chance to lay my hands on a weapon, there might be an opportunity in the hustle of the wedding.
But I...
Shh, just a moment more, then you must go. Let us not waste time with words. Please, let me just look at you, dear Alexander.
Okay, but also have a dagger.
Here, take this dagger. It's not much, but it might come in handy.
Why, it's perfect. This is just the sort of thing I've been looking for. Thank you, Alexander. I'll keep it close and use it if I must.
Oh, you must. Every time we get this opportunity here... What is this piece of paper?
Alexander is carrying a message from his...
That's the message she sent to us. Okay, and that's our whole inventory.
Oh no! Someone's coming!
The lock on Cosima's door rattles abruptly.
Alexander, hurry! Step away before they see you!
Alexander hears scuffling and a woman's brief cry from the other side of the wall. Then, silence.
Okay. Got another conversation to overhear. Well, monologuing, I guess, is more like it. And then a couple things to grab.
Alexander hears the sound of scratching coming from the other side of the wall. Alexander looks through the chink in the wall.
Dear Shadrach, salutations from the Society of the Black Cloak, etc., etc. My long preparations are about to come to fruition. In a matter of minutes, I will wed the lovely Cosima. Once I've established my power and my crown, I can stage another accident. The princess has proven infuriatingly stubborn, as you know. She's becoming quite a dangerous little thorn in my side. In a way, it is a shame I have to kill her. She is lovely and would be amusing to keep around, but I can't risk her talking treason to one of the guards. So far, I've managed to keep her locked away, but I can't continue that forever. Well, on to it now. I'd send her to you, but as you know, I had no luck in doing so with Mordak. I close in triumph. King Abdul Alhazred. I think it's about time to see if Shamir has taken care of the wench as I asked. It's almost time for the wedding.
The Wazir's words fill Alexander with blazing anger and fear for Cosima's life.
That blackguard! That murderous swine! He'll not have his way if I have anything to say about it.
Okay. Secret passageway.
Alexander sees lots of black cloaks.
Should do another save. Open the trunk.
Alexander inserts the skeleton key in the trunk's lock and turns it. Alexander opens the trunk.
Grab these letters.
The letter is a greeting. It looks...
That fiend!
I don't think we needed
Alexander
to...
A few worn leather books occupy the trunk. A book like that might have been a big help when Alexander first arrived. A small glass bottle filled with oily-looking perfume is in...
I can't think of if there's any...
Alexander opens the ebony box.
Meaning to the perfume being there. Like, is that something...
Alexander can read the piece of paper without taking it.
That was used for deceit in some way?
With the word Zebu printed on it. The box.
And I'm curious now.
A door leads into the hall. There's a keyhole in the door.
If there are guards outside
through
here.
the keyhole.
Okay. I figured there were probably still guards upstairs. So I think we're done in this room.
Alexander crawls back through the wardrobe to reach the secret passage.
Now we're back here.
Alexander looks through the chinks in the wall, anxious to see what the commotion was about. Cosima is gone. Where could they have taken her? How could he have let them take her?
A fine rescuer I'm turning out to be.
Buddy, I'd say you're doing pretty good. I mean, you went to the land of the dead and back.
Alexander sees nothing.
Oop, I missed. All right, we need to go in the magic door now.
Since the door on the west wall.
A-L-I-Z-E-B-U.
Listen, door. I would have you open. Ali Zebu.
It worked. Alexander pulls the drapery aside. On the table is a... Those trunks. On the table... Alexander is standing in... On the table...
That must...
On the table...
That...
As Alexander looks at the objects on the table, he realizes the depth of the Wazir's cunning.
What did the Wazir have to gain by causing the islands to hate one another?
Alexander is...
Okay.
Alexander hears the sound of music coming from the east. It sounds somewhat classical, but... Oh no. It's wedding music. Alexander hears a door off the north hall open. Then...
This is it.
Alexander hears the sound of a... Wait.
Do another save.
Alexander looks cautiously around the grand hall, but there are no guard dogs to be seen. The wedding music is coming from behind those two large doors.
Prince Alexander, here. The Vizier will have my head for allowing you within a mile of the royal wedding. Since you are of noble birth, I will give you 5 seconds to explain your presence here before killing you. I warn you, it had better be good.
Okay, fortunately we have this letter.
Wait, if you love your princess, you'll hear me out. The Vizier is not what he appears to be. Cosima is in terrible danger. I have proof that this is so. For your princess's sake, you must believe me.
Let me see that.
Saladin reads the letter, his sword point still against Alexander's throat. Alexander watches the guard dog's noble face darken with rage.
This is treason. I'll have his throat. But how do I know this letter is not a forgery? You could have written this yourself.
But I did not. Have you no doubts of your own about Alhazred? Don't you see? All he wants is the crown. Cassima is being coerced. We must stop the wedding.
It is true. I have had my suspicions about the Vizier, especially when King Califim and Queen Alaria died. But I have seen Cassima with him several times. She appears to be quite happy, even enthusiastic. I don't believe she could love him if he truly were so wicked.
I cannot believe for a moment that she loves that snake.
A jilted lover would not believe it. But come, see for yourself.
The captain of the guard leads Alexander into the throne room, where a ceremony seems to be in progress. Alexander feels his blood run cold at the sight.
I, Cassima, declare Abdul Alhazred as my lawful and beloved husband and king of this realm.
But, Cassima, what are you saying?
Do you still claim that the princess is being forced? Perhaps it's you that's the danger, as the Vizier has said.
Alexander approaches the wedding party.
Prince Alexander here? This is an outrage! How dare you allow this traitor to get past you, Saladin? You stupid mutt! Can't you even keep the castle free of assassins during your own princess's wedding? Kill him! Kill him now!
Lord Alhazred, with all due respect, you are not quite king yet. And this is a wedding ceremony, not an execution.
What? How dare you contradict me, you flea-bitten mongrel! I gave a direct order. Obey me, or feel my wrath.
Milady, I apologize for my behavior, but I am yours to command in all things. I wanted merely to hear your own wishes from your own lips. Tell me what it is that you wish me to do with this young man, and I will obey.
Why, Captain, you heard my dear Abdul. If he wishes this atrocious young man's death, then I want nothing more than to see him get his wish. Obey thy liege now and always.
As you wish, Princess.
Just as Saladin prepares to run Alexander through with his sword, a shout is heard from the direction of the Grand Hall.
Hold! In the name of the true king!
King Califim and Queen Alaria burst into the throne room, looking alive and well, and full of wrath. Behind them, a line of supporters look prepared to battle, if necessary, for their beloved royal couple.
Cassima, darling, are you all right? Has he hurt you?
Hands off of her, you murderous goat!
If I want your advice, I'll ask for it, Mother.
But, Califim, that's not Cassima. I'd know my daughter anywhere.
What have you done with our daughter, you devil?
The lovely image of Cassima suddenly bursts into smoke and is replaced by the Wazir's genie.
Why, you conniving serpent!
Get him, guards! Saladin, your sword!
Drat it all! You may have ruined my plans, but you won't get me, or your precious Cassima. Get them, Shamir! I command you!
He's getting away! Stop him!
Yes, sire, as soon as I deal with this genie!
Okay. Time for me to run. Excuse me. So it's interesting that Jalo has not been present at all. I assume he's gonna pop in here soon with the real genie's lamp. I should do a quick save here.
Alexander, be careful. Alhazred has a sword.
Shut up, wench! Shamir Shamazel! Get in here!
Here I am, master.
It's about time, you bumbling fool! How could you let him follow me?
Well, there were the guard dogs, master, and then...
Never mind! Just kill him! Kill him now!
As you wish, master. Razzle, dazzle, snap and snazzle.
Better hurry up, Jalo. There we go.
Alexander, I did it. I swapped the lamps. Here, quick, take it.
Bless you, Jalo. I knew you could do it. Now get clear, friend.
No arguments there, my lord. Good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Alexander has the genie's lamp. Alexander rubs the lamp, but nothing happens. The genie must be out at the moment.
Shamir Shamazel, hold your spells. I am your master now. I order you to go back into your lamp.
How did you get my lamp? You thief! You've ruined me!
My lamp! Oh, thank Valhalla! I hated working for that loathsome creature. I already feel his nastiness leaving me. How I've longed for a master like you. I've got a new master. I've got a new master.
Oh shoot. Oh no.
So you are a thief as well, Alexander. Stealing the lamp was very clever, I'll grant you that. But I am the master thief. Face my sword if you dare. The man left standing shall have the lamp.
So shall it be, Alhazred. I don't need the genie to deal with a coward like you.
So I guess I had to knock that out of my hand so I can't use the genie to
Alexander
win the fight here.
Only weapon in sight.
Zounds! This sword must weigh a ton.
Good. Then you shall only fail sooner, my prince. So, the mouse would bite?
This mouse shall bite, as you shall soon see. Or should I say, soon feel?
Ha! You can barely lift that sword, my prince. Better to lay it down now. I promise to dispatch you with little pain.
Nope.
Suit yourself.
Sometimes you need to click to advance the dialogue and sometimes you don't.
Alexander's arms start to tremble under the effort of wielding the huge sword. His muscles are nearing exhaustion.
Ha! And so it ends.
Not if I can help it, you murderer!
Cosima thrusts the small dagger into Alhazred's shoulder with all her might.
Ah! You dare raise a finger to me? You will regret that, princess.
Oh. Almost forgot to click there.
Cosima, are you all right?
I'm fine, Alexander. I was just so afraid for you.
There's no need to fear anymore, princess.
Yes, I know. How can I ever repay you? For myself, for my kingdom.
It was not in me to let harm come to you. Can you find it in you, princess, to give me more than your gratitude?
Alexander, what are you saying?
I love you, Cosima. Would you ever consider... Do you think you could... marry me?
Could you ever have doubted it, my prince? Oh, guards!
Princess Cassima, are you well?
I'm quite well, thank you. Please take Abdul and put him in the dungeon. See to it that he gets a doctor.
Yes, Majesty.
Cassima and Alexander ask Captain Saladin to perform their wedding ceremony. Saladin is honored to do so.
On this historical day of great joy in the land of the Green Isles, we witness the union of Cassima, beloved princess of this realm, and Alexander, Prince of Daventry. Do you, Prince Alexander of Daventry, take Princess Cassima to be your wife, to love and to cherish for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And do you, Princess Cassima of the land of the Green Isles, take Prince Alexander to be your husband, to love and to cherish for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you have a ring?
I have Alexander's royal insignia ring.
Very good. Please place the ring on Cassima's finger. Who gives this bride to be wed?
Her mother and I willingly give our daughter's hand in wedlock.
Who will speak for the groom?
I will. Alexander's mother and I recognize his marriage to Princess Cassima with glad hearts, and sanction this union.
Then, Alexander and Cassima, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Congratulations, my children. I have an important question for you both. Please hear me.
Yes, sire?
Alexander, I welcome you into our family with open arms. I place trust in Alhazred because I so badly wanted a son and a husband for my beloved daughter. I was wrong. But you are true and good, Alexander. You have proven yourself to all my people.
Thank you, sire.
Olaria and I have been through much. Even though we have returned to our kingdom, I do not think we are able to reign again. Will you two consider the crown? I know as king and queen, you can heal this small kingdom from all the damage that Alhazred has inflicted upon it.
Oh, Father.
Why, I'm honored. What do you think, Cassima?
I love my homeland, Alexander. I would be happy to stay and serve it all my days.
Father, I believe I'm needed here. Would you be very disappointed if...
Son, you must follow your destiny. I do believe the land of the Green Isles needs you. You'll be a magnificent king, though dearly missed in Daventry.
Then, I accept.
Oh, my boy, what a man you've become. And how I will miss you.
Don't worry, Mother. With Shamir's powers, we'll be able to visit often. I'm not about to forget my family.
Congratulations, Alexander. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, dear sister.
Oh, Alexander, I'm so glad. Between the return of my beloved parents and our new reign, you've made me so happy.
I'm glad I could make up for some of your suffering, my beautiful wife.
Congratulations, King Alexander. When we return home to Daventry, your crew will be glad to hear that their battle at sea was worthwhile in bringing forth a new monarch.
We were so worried when your men arrived home without you, son. I'm so thankful that you are safe and happy.
And I am as grateful that my crew did not pay for my driven heart.
You have only brought us all good fortune, sire. With Shamir saved and his power used for good, reuniting the islands will be far easier. He has already repaired the ferry. Your road will be easier now that the islands are no longer feuding. Already the wounds are starting to heal.
Yes, my love. Discovering the island's stolen treasures has done more to bring peace to this land than anything else. It is now clear that Alhazred had Shamir steal each of the island's most valued treasures, then blame the thefts on others to cause the islands to hate each other.
Now let us celebrate our good fortune. The evil that has plagued this land is done, and a new reign begins. Long live King Alexander and Queen Cassima.
Long live King Alexander! Long live Queen Cassima! Long live the land of the Green Isles! Hooray! Hooray!
Hooray! So that's really interesting. Obviously, we got a much better turnout for the wedding by doing the whole Jalo quest. And at first, I was thinking it didn't make that much sense that there's so many more people here. And I was also going to comment, how did his family manage to get here in a week when it took him months to get to the Green Isles? But they actually thought of that, like it was all the genie. So if you don't have the genie, the ferry doesn't get repaired quick enough. His family can't get here in time for the wedding, so none of these extra people would have been here. So it was actually impressively well thought out. Let's see. The next big question is, did we get that perfect score or not? I feel like surely we did. But we'll see. I can't remember if there was anything else I was going to comment on. Oh yeah, I was gonna comment how I believe that was Josh Mandel brought back to voice King Graham once again. He did the voice of King Graham in King's Quest V as well. Oh yeah, and it was fun that the whole Daventry family got portraits for the dialogue at the end. We did it! Wonderful. You've received 231 out of 231 points. You've completed 100%. Congratulations on your excellent performance. If you want to go beyond the ultimate score, we recommend you try the other, easier entrance to the castle. You can do so easily by restoring back to a point just before the Druids' rainstorm. Don't go back to see the Druids, instead head for the castle. New puzzle challenges await you. So it's fun that they tell you exactly what to do there. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I hope we'll see y'all around. Take care.